Yeah, I think that's going to work. All right, got it set up a little bit better. Think we're all good to go. Make sure we got everything engaged. There we go. All right, we should be good to go now. I think we're okay. Welcome in. What's up? How you doing? What's up, Bayo? John, how are ya? Again, you say, what's happening, Dragonfly? Hello? What's up, Groves Glass Gallery? Betsy, good evening. How are ya? All right, so tonight we are starting off with the hummingbird flower again. All right, so we're doing the hummingbird flower. This is for an order, so we do need to get it done and looking good. I'm actually going to mix some colors again tonight. Going to get the drill ready, just in case. All right, so we're going to do the hummingbird flower right off. We're just going to dive right into it. Oh, you did? Awesome, Betsy. All right, let's get this going. You know, I'm going to show you guys how to kind of manipulate some glass that shouldn't otherwise be usable, but we're going to use it. So this piece right here has major cracking running through it, and there's nothing wrong with it necessarily. It just was heated, cooled, and heated and cooled, and that's what created these little stress cracks. I'm going to show you how we can take that and turn it to new. If I wasn't using the drill with this, we wouldn't be able to do this. But because we are implementing the drill mixing, we will be able to do it. If I didn't have the drill, we wouldn't be able to do it, because those cracks would still be in there. They would show up. Right now, this is cracking like crazy too. But this is essentially like taking it back down to its original hardcore sand level. What's up, Michelle? How are you? Mr. Derby. Colleen, how are you? Leslie? Oh, there it goes, cracky. That's definitely cracking. You can hear it just shattering. Oh my God, that's crazy. I'm going to show you from side view because, you know, that one, of course. Now I got a quick level for the side view here. You can see all those cracks running through it. Insane, right? Yeah, it's just splintering pieces off right now. That's okay, though. I'm going to show you how you can get away with reutilizing it. What's up, Sarah? That's a little bit of visual ASMR cracking glass. But I really want to show that you can recycle this stuff a lot. I consider this a recycling phase. What's up, Mike? How are you? So yeah, this to me is considered recycling it because it would otherwise have to be thrown away. So we're just kind of fusing it in there. A little bit at a time. How's everybody doing tonight anyway? Nope, no foxes yet. No time for them. Thank you, Sarah, for the jewels. All right. Gonna bring it down. And there we are. So yeah, we're gonna turn this into a exotic type color right now. I'm gonna try and go for a purplish look to it. So we're gonna attach this here. We're gonna drill mix it up, create a little bit of a purpley color to it. And then we'll turn it into the hummingbird with flower. What's up, Freedom? We are using Borosilicate. All right, so I got that melded in right there. Gonna finish it off up here. And then we'll start infusing color. I'm gonna teach you all how to make a little bit of purple. Y'all ready for it tonight? I'm gonna show you how to make purple out of borosilicate glass. We're gonna make purple. Here we go. Purple's like the unicorn of colors for Boro. I can't wait till, I go on, and there's a few other channels that are glass blowers, not anybody that's watching here. Well, maybe they're watching under a different name. But they'll come on here going, guess what, guys? I'm going to show you how to make purple. I came up with this great idea. All right, so this is a dark amethyst. It almost looks black. And we're going to, well, you know what? Before we do that, let's do traditional purple. I'm going to show you how to do my method of making actual purple. We're going to use my method here. Very easy to make purple with this method. You can tweak it later. Okay, so this is pink, right? We got just straight up pink. We're going to add the pink in. Now you can use full pink. I'm going to be using, obviously, with some clear. We're going to be diluting it a little bit with all this clear. But we're going to be putting the pink in here. Just infusing it all the way in here. I figure with all the colors changing and the market shifting, I'll help people out a little bit and show them how to make purple. It's a big old chunk though, man. I probably did too much here. Maybe we won't go all the way down with pink right now. That's a lot of glass. I don't need that much purple. All right, so we're going to bring it in, last little bit of it here. Oops, that snapped. I'm hoping I might have a little more pink. I don't see that I do, though. It won't be a problem. All right, there we are. So we got, oh, there is a little pink left here. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit more, just to be on the safe side. Actually, that rod is way too short. I do not want to use that anymore. I'm going to use this one. All right, so we're going to add the rest of this pink in here. Then we're going to make purple. Let's get it. That's right. What's up, Catastrophic? How are you? I got this. All right, we need to go a little bit hotter in the flame here. It's not quite there. So technically what I've added in here, for those of you that are watching and care to see how purple's made, especially the glass people, I've added what I would consider a full 20-inch stick of pink bubblegum. Like bubblegum, it could be any pink that is a dense pink. You don't want to use a transparent. Okay, transparent pink will not work. It has to be the opaque pink to get this effect. We're just adding it all in. Yeah, it definitely went too big. Actually, I can cut part of this off. We'll come back to this clear. It's just too much. I don't want to make a gigantic batch of this. I just want enough for what we're doing. Okay, we're going to infuse that in. And there we go. All right, we got that all infused in. So again, this is about a 20-inch rod of pink. Now you can use North Star bubblegum, you can use pink Cadillac, you can use, I don't know what Glass Alchemy's version is. And then there's an import pink, opaque pink. And I don't know what the color of that one, or what that one's called either. But for me, I either use pink Cadillac or bubblegum. Or the China stuff. Nothing wrong with the China stuff. I just don't remember the name of it. Just look up pink. And make sure it's the opaque, not the transparent. Okay, I'm going to pull that off. Got a little bit of clear left in there. So one of the things about using this this particular method, and this color actually in particular, is you can dilute it down a lot with clear. Once you have the opaque on there, you can kind of dilute it down and make it into a transparent just by mixing more clear once you have all the purple kind of built. If you will, you just add more clear and it dilutes it down into a transparent. Wow, that thing's sizzling. I don't know if you guys can hear it, it's still sizzling. Anyway. Gave your daughter the mushroom? Oh, awesome. I'm happy to hear that. And look at all those green names popping next to the chat. I love seeing all the members on there. I like it. All right. So again, we're going to be making a purple color right now. And I'm just showing people how to kind of get it done. Yeah, we are really making stuff, boss man. What do you think? It just happens in like instantaneous seconds? Do you think it just like poof, 2 minutes and I'm done? Is that kind of how you guess? All right, there is the pink. And then we're going to add in the dark color. So this is a purpley color, but it's not really purple. It is equal to turbo cobalt. is what I would say it's equal to. So don't pay attention to the outer coating. It's really not that color. I'm just going to come through and add 4 little stripes of it down. So the ratio is a lot of pink and a very little bit of, if I were you, I would use Turbo Cobalt. I just happen to have this on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. And maybe one more. Like that. All right, I'm going to pop over to the side view so y'all can see the ratio of pink. And you can see that it's not really purple. It is a dark blue at the ends where it's cooling down. You can see all that. It's a very, very dark blue. And again, I would use Turbo Cobalt. Okay, we got the handy drill, and now we're going to mix it up. So this is the important part. You got to really mix the heck out of this, and we should have a beautiful purple once we get it fully blended. Now there are a couple variations you can do on this, but on those color combos, I'm going to make that a members only group. So if you're one of the members or a subscriber on TikTok or a member on YouTube, then you will have access to this file, to the more elaborate color combos. I'm going to crank it up just a little bit. All right, really got to mix it up. I think we're good. If you are a new glass blower and you're attempting to do this, I would highly recommend you get a full face shield for like welding, or a protective face shield while you're learning to do this, just so you don't make a mistake and have something come shooting back at you. All right, we're good. We should be all mixed up now. So we're going to pull this apart. We should have a beautiful little purple hue. I'm not going to go into making it, again, I'm not going to adjust the color too much, but it is fully adjustable from here. So what I mean by that is if I wanted to get it more of a richer purple, I could add more of the Turbo Cobalt. If I wanted to lighten it up, I could use more pink. You adjust it as you go. There's no mathematical ratio or science to it. All right, we're going to let it cool off for just 1 second. We're going to go to the side view. I hope I can do this so we can all see it. You can start to see it turning purple right there in the back end where it's cooling off. So there is the first taste of purple we got. I'm going to bring over the flashlight. I remembered it this time. See the purple? And that is how you get it, just like that. Just like that. Beautiful, right? It still looks bluish pink to you, laughing. Why would you laugh, Topher? I'm not quite understanding why it would be funny. I don't get it. Don't get it. Anyway, let's pull this down into a rod. And here we go. So we're going to just pull it down. And then once it cools off, it really darkens up. And again, like I said, you can adjust the tone of it by how much blue you put into it. Base is pink, and then you just add in the blue to get your darker purple or lighter purple. No, man, stop. Sorry. I'm sorry, but my mom's nurses constantly call me. They're like always calling me. And it's like, I tell them, stop calling this late at night. And they won't stop. They don't listen. All right, here we go. So we're going to pull it down. And here we go. We got a beautiful color combo here. Yeah, this will definitely darken up. It needs a minute. All right, we're going to take this out. I'm going to save this chunk for later. And then we're going to use this for the flower. So you can see it's starting to get a little more purple as we're going through. It'll just continuously darken up as it cools off. Once those metals kind of settle in, they darken up. These are orders, yes. They are definitely orders. All right, so now we're going to use the amethyst on here. Yeah, we are starting to get a lot of orders for the flowers, by the way. People wanting to have them made online, like I was saying, where I will call out your significant other, your spouse, or whoever, to making the flower online. We have quite a few already sold and being pre-booked. So if you are interested in that, you should let us know fairly soon. Probably within the next week, because I have to have time to be able to make it, and then it has to ship before Valentine's Day. So, all right, so we got the purple that we made right there. We're going to add in the amethyst on here. Now, this is a really dark, 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 transparent purple. But I played around with it one time, and I kind of thinned it way out. And I noticed it was more of a, kind of like a blue sapphire. All right, so we got that spiral done. We're going to bring it over. I think I got the scenery done too. Like that. I think I got the scenes down now. So there's the first stripe running around. What's up, Daisy girl? How you doing? What's up, Daisy girl? All right, so next one we're going to do is Ouch. I forgot I got to do more pink on here. All right, give me 1 second. I got to run and grab pink. 1 second. I just have to grab some pink rod. I used it all, unfortunately. There we are. Gonna set that down. All right. That was a little scary for a second. All right, so this is going to show you a little bit of a different look to it. I'm going to show you how to make your purple look more purple. Okay. So we got it looks very light here. We're going to shift over to the side cam for just a second. It's kind of playing around with colors will really change it up. Okay, very light purple, right? Right there. Now watch what happens when we add black to the mix here. So we're going to add this black to it with a spiral. All of a sudden it's going to look a lot darker. Just by putting this black next to it. And here we go. We're going to bring it in. We're going to spiral around. So we got the amethyst, and then we're going to put the black sparkle on here. Okay, going to melt that in. Got to really let it melt in for a second. All right, then we're going to go back to the side view. Now, for me, every time I see this and it starts cooling off, now it looks darker to me because of the black. I know the black took up some extra space too, but to me, it starts looking much more royal purple with that black next to it. It just changes the whole aesthetics of it up. All right, let's grab some... Oh, you know what? We're going to stripe it a different way. We're going to stripe it with pink. We're going to go pink all the way down. Hey, Scott, tell Diane hello. How are ya? That is my Aunt Diane. All right, here we go. We're going to stripe down. Coming across. And we're good. All right, so now we got all those colors kind of bouncing through there. We got a whole bunch of them. Now you can see that pink running up against there. You can definitely see the purple coming through, the blacks, and all those colors like that. Looks kind of like a little spider web. At least it looks like a spider web to me. And we're going to grip the... Where is it at? Oh, I used that crap. Sorry. We're going to grip it here. Yeah, these colors are going to look good. We're going to spin it up now. You look interesting, like a mix of Adam Savage and Guy Fieri. Why can't I just look like me? How about that? How about they look like me? There's a thought process. You got your ghost dogs? Oh, awesome. Yeah, the ghost dogs are freaking amazing. I have 2 of the ghost dogs available too. They are one with the uranium collar and nose, and one with the purple. All right, so we're going to take all this and we're going to spin it up a little. I know, I think I look like me too. I have no problem with me. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're going to spin all this up and really change the patterning. And here we go. So this is going to be the flower for the hummingbird flower. I don't know if Yuri's on, but Yuri had ordered this. I don't see Yuri on at all. Yeah, we're working on the Discord link. It's broken right now. And I don't know if you can do a search for the fiery guy on Discord. I don't know if there's a search option for that. And you could request it in the meantime, but yeah, I'll fix the link tonight. I'll definitely get that all fixed up. Okay, so where am I going to flatten this at? We'll do it right here. I got plenty of space right here. So we're going to squish it right here. This is the happy little squishy melt. Yeah, I have an actual self-portrait. Let me bring it out here. I wanted to show you guys the patterning before we get it too far. So that's how we changed it up right there. That's the patterning we just did. Yeah, I can tell you that based on my self-portrait of when I was young, you will see a total difference between me and anybody else. It looks just like me. I did a self-portrait out of glass. Yep, solid glass self-portrait. You guys want to see it? If you want to see the self-portrait, I can grab it in just a second. Just type 1 in the chat. You'll see some similarities, but yeah, you have to remember I was young when I did it. It is both Illuminati and ion, and some glass from the 1940s. Some uranium 1940 glass. All right. Oh, we got a few takers. Okay. All right. Let me grab it before we start, because once I get going on this, I can't really stop the process. All right. So this is me when I was very, very young. Self-portrait. You'll recognize some features. You'll be able to tell it's me, but I was a lot skinnier, so the face looks a little bit different. Okay. But this is when I was very young, self-portrait. Someone had bet me that I couldn't make a self-portrait of myself, and I said I could. And here we go. So there we are. See? You can tell by the hair, it's me. But there I am. Bring it out here. Like I said, I was a lot skinnier and a lot faster. Yeah, there I am. I told you. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we got to make the, I know, spot on, right? I told you. All good. I think I got to build up pressure on my liquid tank. I think I'm running out of build up pressure. Okay, here we go. And we're going to squish. Nice little satisfying push right there. So now we got a little disc with a little, almost looks like a hat. We almost have that hat look. So there we are right there. Then this is the frontal view. You can kind of see the patterning happening in there. So this will be on the inside of the flower. Now, in order to accomplish this, we are using just a simple pair of needle nose pliers, nothing exotic, okay? Any pair of needle nose pliers will work. Any pair whatsoever. Okay, so we just bring it in, get it really nice and warm. And here we go. There. Cool that off. Bring it out. Now you can see kind of that patterning there. Doesn't have to be really even right now because we're going to be pulling it into a section anyway. We're going to be pulling it into a flower, so it doesn't really matter. It's honestly, it's just a funky flower. That's what we're making. We're just going to call it the funky flower. I need to bring this over a little bit more though. There. Okay, so we're going to take all this. We're going to find a spot to pull it from. I'm trying to figure that out right now. I think I'm going to pull it right from back here. So we're going to grip it there. Let it heat up. I'll bring it out this way so y'all can see it pull. Like that. I'm going to trim it off a little bit even here. It's a little lopsided in one side. Give it a little bit of character. All right, we're going to go over to the side view so I can do all this. All right, so here we are. We just pulled it down a little bit. It's a little funky at the moment. So I'm going to leave it on this view for a moment so y'all can see kind of what happens from this angle. You can see, hopefully you can see it squishing in there. And we're just carving into it. This helps shape it. Hopefully you got to see a little bit of a different angle to it. So right now we're just getting it. I got to do a little bit of work on the upper portion up here, but we're pretty close. I'm going to go back to normal view. There. Then we'll pull it back up. I'm going to pull a little bit of this off. There. All right, so there we are so far. Now we're going to do one more pull off this, and this is going to kind of actually shape it a little bit more into that flower concaved area. That center will get a little bit more open and create that flower look. So now we're going to heat right underneath there, and this is going to be pulling the stem for kind of like a vine. I call it the alley-oop. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to fold it over a few times. Because I don't want this rod to be completely smooth. I want it to have some striations in it like that. Then we're just going to pull it down. Let it loop, swoop, and bend. About like that. I need a dictionary guide to glass. I do, actually. I make up my own words. I don't care though. I'm good with it. All right, here we go. All right, let's come to the side view. So you can see these purple. Remember, we made that purple, that lighter purple, we made that color earlier. And there's the back, even the back end's kind of cool as hell, right? So we got all these colors running around. Man, I feel like Hunter Biden. My nose won't stop itching, although I didn't do the same thing. All right, there we go. The Charlie Sheen effect. This is 32 freaking years. 32 years of working with glass in a lovely aspect. Okay, so we're going to make the hummingbird for it, and this has to be in the teal. But this is a custom order. I don't know if Yuri's online, but we're going to make it custom for Yuri. He ordered this, and we're going to make it custom. I got to find the right size rod, though. If I was... I'll just use the back end of this. Cut this off, actually. Leave that down there. So we're going to make a custom bird. Bird is the word. So we're going to mix some pink into the to the bird body, and then we're going to do teal for the tail, wings, and beak. So we're just going to mix some pink in here. I don't want it completely dense pink. I just want to kind of give it some texture here. So I call this the taffy pull. There's another fiery guy word. The taffy pull. So it really reminds me of pulling like taffy. If you've ever seen that process done. It's just really freaking cool. A little bit more. I may not have enough room to do this. I hope I can get one more little pull here. Yeah, we're good. All right, so basically we just folded on top of each other. And now we're just going to kind of turn it back into a semi-round rod. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to start making the bird body out of this. And it should just have these really cool random pattern colors in it. Okay, got that part done. I don't know why, but this thing really looks like a betta fish. It looks like it's the start of a betta fish. Let me turn on side view. You'll see what I mean. I don't know why, but it's starting to look like a betta fish with the back end there. Like it could be a fish. Totally. All right, so we're gonna pull this. By the way, I just uploaded a new short to TikTok and YouTube, and it is of me when I drop the damn marble, and it is kind of funny. What's up, Dale? Yeah, it's when I dropped the big old marble the other day, and I was like, that's not how you separate it. It was a pretty funny video. At least I thought it was. So go check out the short. It's the newest one. Oh yeah, the squids from Matrix. See, everybody sees something different. I agree with you. It did have kind of that squid look. All right, so we're rounding this out, and I'm going to pull the little extension for the tail. So we should have a nice pinkish body with teal tail, wings, beak. And then we're going to add it to that flower. So there is the head, the tail portion. I definitely am going to figure out how to do this on a foot pedal, but there you can see kind of all those little striations running through there now, where it's not just solid, it just has all this different color bouncing through it. I like it. All right, we're going to use the teal right now. Just grabbed teal. Gotta make sure I got the right one. Uh-oh. Okay, that's right there. Let me just double check. Yep. All right, let's do this bird. So I don't use any tools when I'm making these birds. I like to freehand it. And as I've said 1,000 times, there's nothing wrong with using a tool. Just not, I don't like it for me personally. But there's nothing wrong with using something like that. Thank you for sharing the live so much. Thank you. Marie, thank you for the floating heart. Okay, so we're going to add this over here. Going to fuse that in. Okay. Come this direction. You can see the tail going on right now. This is why I like that side view now, because it allows me to get really up close with it and show you guys exactly what's going on. I don't have a really good punty rod, so we're going to use white. That doesn't even feel comfortable. There we go. So this is going to allow me to do the rest of the bird right now. I'm going to pull this head down a little bit, though. It's too big. Okay, there we are. Bring it in, shape it up. Okay, we're good. Okay, next step, we have to put a little hook on it. This is where everything is going to be hanging from. All the weight is going to be on this hook, so it has to be pretty darn durable here. Just going to pull it very slow, keep this thing thick. And yeah, we're good to go there. So now we got the hook. What's up, L to the B in the house? So that's where all the weight's going to be balancing. Right off there. Let's grab the teal for the wings. One layer at a time. There we are. One more little bit. So now we got wing number one. L to the B, thank you for the alien buddies. Thank you for all the alien buddies. I appreciate that. So we're going to do the other side. Now, when I do the side view and I show you this color, you're going to definitely see it teal. That'll be a little dark, but when it cools off, it looks absolutely stunning. But I'll give you a little bit of a preview of it after we finish, before we attach it to the flower. Yeah, I thought so. Sometimes I lose the count at how many little extensions I put on this thing. Smooth that out. Make sure the wings are balanced out a little bit. There we go. Thank you very much for those alien buddies again. I appreciate you, L to the B. So now we got wings. And we're going to pop on the beak real quick. And I love it. I know I pulled a little shorty rod there. No. Where did you go? This is the problem when you have a messy bench. You lose your stuff. There it is. Eyeballs. Can't forget the eyeballs. So there is the bird with the teal and the pink. Now I'm going to bring it in. Again, I wanted that organic look, but look at the teal now. See what I was saying? Is that teal or is that teal? See what I'm talking about? Total difference. Red light, green light, red light, green light. Yeah. Yeah, I love this color. All right, let's put it on the flower. So this is a custom order, and we like doing those. As long as it's within, like, if it's a normal item I make and we can just change the colors, that makes it super easy. Yeah. If you're wanting a kangaroo riding an orca, I'm not going to be able to do that for a while. There we are. Got to wait for it to cool. Oops, sorry, got the side view on. I forgot to change the view. Damn it. That's okay. You guys can see it from the side now. So there it is in the colors right there. I like it. I think it looks good. We'll let that kind of chill in there for a little bit. Oh, how about we go to normal view? Crap. Forgot about that. Red, blue, green, amber, purple. Okay, so I got to do one more regular hummingbird. And again, this is the purple we made. It doesn't look quite as dark on camera as it does in person. It's a lot darker in person. But as you know, the camera doesn't pick up everything correctly. Like, where's my shield? So like, watch the flame right now. See how the color of the flame, and then see how it goes blue. That's the difference right there. See how that just went darker? So that's kind of what goes on with some of the colors when you guys see them versus what I do. Yeah, I switched the side to the front. I just change it around. We kind of just mess around with it back and forth. I'm going to get a foot. I have a foot pedal. I just have to hotkey it so I can switch between the two views just by foot pedaling it. Okay, we need to make a birdie. This is just a regular bird. We're all good. All right, so we're going to bring this in, roll it into the frit. Frit is called F-R-I-T, frit. Yeah, I like going back and forth on it. I think it just gives you alternate views. Be able to bounce around. All right, so a little bit more. Getting a little warm there. All right, we're going to use the shield so you can see exactly what I see here. Now, the side view has a little bit of a shield like this, but... So this material is what my glasses are made of, what's in the eyeglasses. Ready? So this is how I see things, like that. See how it cuts out a lot of that really bright glare, and you can kind of see into it, like that. So that's what I see. All right, here we go. We're going to roll it into the frit. Now this stuff allows me to color the glass without fully like making it all dense one color. This allows some of that transparency to exist, so you still tell that it's glass. We'll do the close-up. This is where I do like the close-up, so you can see what the frit looks like before we melt it in. So that's exactly what it looks like before we get to it. Just so you can see it. Tonight, I'm going to be installing another camera. So we're going to put a third camera in. Yeah, my hand. No, the red is just from the radiating heat. It happens. It's not too bad. All right, so we're going to pull that tail down. Now this particular bird is going to be done out of cobalt. So we're going to pull this down. Like that. So now we have the little extension on there. And that's what gives me my ability to center the tail on the item itself. Going to run these little extensions down here. one more. Smooth all that out. So now we bring it in. What's up, Mayhem? So now you can see that tail just kind of existing right there. I need another punty rod. All right, here we go. We're going to take it and adapt it right in there. Burn it off up here. And I think we're looking good. And then we got to put the hook on. Bring it up and over. That right there, putting this hook on for a beginning glassblower, that's probably the hardest part. Right there. For someone to get used to is putting that hook on there. There we go. Okay, we're going to make the wings. I don't know why I did that. Let's do the wings on here. Okay, we're going good. A little bit more. All right, there we go. We got wing number one. This combo, the white and the cobalt, is always an amazing color combo. I would say cobalt blue, I don't know if it's my number one selling color. I'm trying to think. I think cobalt, in general, of all the colors I have, cobalt blue is either the most requested or the most used for people requesting things. Purple's a close second. All right, we're going to smooth all that out. It's looking pretty. Okay, so we're going to put the beak on. Then some eyeballs. Bring out the side view so you guys get a better view of it. I love the cobalt blue with the white frit. I just think it looks elegant. I always find it to be like a perfect color combo. And right now, oh, I know why you guys were seeing the purple off, because I have the filter on. I forgot this camera has the filter on it. That makes sense. That's why when we were making purple, you guys were seeing pinkish. That's why. Now it makes sense. I'm going to show you something really interesting here, if I have it. No. Please tell me I have a little chunk of it in here. Hold on, be patient with me for 1 second. I want to show you something interesting. Perfect. Okay, so can you guys see the difference between these two colors, the pink and the purple? Can you tell one's pink, transparent, one's purple? Can you see all that, like the difference in there? I hope you can, because we're going to do a little experiment here. I don't know if this is going to pick it up, but now can you tell the difference? This is with the filter. So that is pink and purple under the filter, the lenses, and then there we go. And then there's the pink and the purple that way. So that's no filter. So the didymium lens creates that effect. We'll actually do it one more time here. So now we got it this way. So that is, again, pink and purple. Then if you use my lens with it even more, now it's all gone completely. So that's why all the colors were off. Now that made better sense. See, I'm learning. I do have to make a flying pig. So let me grab some transparent pink, and we got to make you're looking for a male friend you can confide in? Okay, you got to go on TikTok. His name is Green Trees Glass. Okay, Green Trees Glass. He loves talking to people. You'll find a friend right there. Go to Green Trees Glass. He loves chatting with people. All right, let me grab the pink transparent. So we got to make a flying pig right now. Oh, to the bees in the house too. Okay, so we're going to make a little flying pig. We're going to do it out of the pink. Man, my bench is such a mess right now. Oh, I got my work cut out. I'm either going to have to clean it tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to have to do one of the two. Definitely going to have to clean it out. All right, before we do that, I got to take this pink and I got to turn it, a little bit of it into a thinner rod so I could create the facial structure on the pig. Oh, we could definitely make a piggy into a cobalt blue hippo. Not right now. Could I modify the piggy into a cobalt blue hippo? Not right now, but I have to get a photograph of a hippo in front of me. And then I could probably tackle that. But I need to have the hippo directly in front of me, just so I don't miss the nuances of exactly the details. I guess I could get a picture of my ex-wife, put her on there. Be almost the same thing. All right, let's pull this down. There we go. So this is, we're just pulling the pink down so I could get the little details of the pig in there. This is kind of, that's not technically a stringer. It's not quite that small. There. Am I located in Cincinnati? Nope. I am not. If I was in Cincinnati, I'd be at WKRP. God, I keep showing my age with TV shows. WKRP. I'm going to do something cool, though, before we make that pig. We're going to show you how to... So, random thought here. We've had a big change in the color industry with the largest borosilicate glass manufacturer raised their prices on a lot of stuff. I'm not mad at them for doing it. They had to because of the, tariffs and everything coming in. Okay, I'm not mad at them for it. Not their fault, really. But we have to adjust a little bit. And I'm going to start showing people how to kind of manipulate the colors they have, how to stretch them out, how to get the most out of them as we go through, because moving forward, the glassblowing industry has to adapt to these price changes. The flying pigs are in Cincinnati big time. There you go. Yep, WKRP in Cincinnati. Okay, here we go. We're going to detach this little section here. All right, so we got this pink here. Yep, I did hear Mountain Glass shut down. Sad, but you know what? It is what it is. So we're going to preheat this pink, and then we're going to silver fume it. And on top of that, we're going to clear coat it. And I'm going to show you how to kind of create some alternate colors from silver fuming and just different colors here. You can do a lot. We can change up a lot of your palette by adding silver and fuming it. I'm just going to go through over time how to maximize your dollar. This isn't my first rodeo going down this path. All right, so right now we got a little bit of silver on here. So we're going to come through and we're going to fume it. So this is what it looks like before we do the fuming process. Fuming is vaporizing the silver on there. So here we go. The silver is going to literally vaporize into a gas almost, and it's going to use the flame as a conduit to fly up to this rod up here, the pink that we were working with. And it's literally going to silver plate it. Like that. I'm going to bring over the side view. So now you can see we silver plated that pink now. Okay. See how it changed the color even right there? Totally changed, right? I'm going to come back up here. Now I like to use a very light a smaller version of clear. I don't like to encase it too much. So I just want a light coating in here. Whoa, damn it. So we're going to stripe it down. Here we go. We're just going to go all the way around. And I would suggest if you start really messing around with colors and fuming, that you get a notebook and you create your own recipe book for the glass blowers out there. You want to create your own recipe book of what you did to make what color. And then you won't forget. There we are. We're going to come back to side view so I can show you where we're at. Oh, got a little bendy there. Let me straighten that out. Don't need the hot dog look. All right, so now you can see we encased the whole thing. Okay, and we're going to bring in the flashlight. Now you can you see those almost where it's shifting yellow pink in there? All the way around? Even a little bit of blue. And then we're just going to stretch it out. I always recommend don't leave it like this. You got to stretch it back out. Melt everything in. Don't leave it this way. Definitely want to stretch it back out. So we're going to pull it there, little attachment, and then we're going to heat it up and stretch it out. Warm the whole thing up a little bit. All right, here we go. So we're going to pull it out. So when you start making wings, or actually wings in this color looks really good. But wings, ears, accent colors, flower petals look really fantastic with this. This looks really good for flower petals. In fact, maybe we'll, after we get done with the pig, maybe we'll do this in a flower so you can exactly see what I'm talking about here. By then the rod will be cooled off. A little bit further. All right, we're going to taper that off. This color looks pretty amazing. Okay, right there, it's not showing up like it looks like a hell of a lot, right? Here we go. So we're going to bring it on the side view. Can you see that transparency, like that ghostly color? But just wait. Now look at it. Bring it all the way down. Now that is the silver over pink. Isn't that gorgeous? May you ask what you cool the rods off in? Yeah, it's a kiln. Oh, you mean this water bowl? So I put it all in a water bowl so it cools it off really quick in the little bits. So if I let the little bits sit on my bench, they will fly around. They'll shatter and fire at you and make little missiles coming at you. So I don't want any missiles coming at me. So we have a little, I actually have a colander. I'm going to bring it up a little. I can't bring it too far over. Gotta shake it out. There. See? Scrap. Just like that. And then the water stays, so I can empty the thing out all the time. Oh, it does shatter it. I want it to. All right, I had that little pink rod in here. We're going to use this guy up while we're at it. Let's go. So we're making a little flying pig. I would love to see your RC workbench. I've been wanting to do. Renee, I forgot to say thank you for the jewels. I really want to kind of look at doing some stuff with an RC. I think it'd be hella fun. Back in the day, I had one when I was really, really young. I had this little RC car called a Frog. I think it was called the Frog by Tamaya. I love that thing. Man, did I love that thing. I was thinking it'd be fun to get one. Yeah, that would be so much fun. It's about the only thing I could do nowadays. Okay, here we go. We're going to burn this off at the end. It's all good, Chef Dave. We're all good. No worries. Thank you for the heart me. All right, we're going to trim this off here. So the reason I'm trimming this little end off here is we create little fuzzies at the end of the glass. When you cut it with a tool, it scratches it. And then when you go to melt those scratches in on the end of the rod, it actually it makes these little tiny air bubbles in there, which are horrible to deal with. I don't like them. I don't like the little air bubbles. I thought I had a shorter little pinky rod, but I do not have a shorty. And we'll just use you. What the heck? All right, here we go. So right now we're going to make the pig body. Oh yeah, you did ask me about the exhaust. I forgot about that. Yeah, definitely that's something that can be done. It would take a little practice, for sure. All right, so we're going to attach here. Then we're going to bring it in and melt it in for the little pig body. So we are making a little flying pig. So right now I'm building up the body for it, which isn't too hard. This isn't a big complicated shape. A little bit more. All right, so we got the beginning stages here. Cody, you have a good one. Thank you for hanging with me for this one. And here we go. So what I'm shaping right now is the head area for the pig. So right now we're creating the head. We got the body done. Trying to keep it all in one size or one piece. There we go. We're going to bring it in and let it fuse together a tiny bit. We'll come over to the side view. And I'll give you guys a little bit of a preview right there. You see that little stretch mark right there? Right there. We'll pull that out as we start making it. But you get those in there. I see so many people trying to correct all that stuff before you ever get done. What's up, Penny? How are you doing? Okay, so we're going to start on the head and start shaping it out. So first things first, I'm going to give it a little bit of a tiny area here for like a jaw. Right there. And then we got to do the side jowls. So I always come off to the side. Give it some side jowls. Okay. And then we're going to put the little beginning part of the nose on here. Okay, we should be good there. Flatten it out. I'll show you guys side view. So now we're starting to, so there is that'll be the bottom portion of it. You got the little pig nose going on right there. And then that's the jowls down there. So there. Now I'm going to leave it on the side view for just a moment because we got to touch in some little pig's nostrils. I almost said pig snot. There, we got two little pig nosy in there. Even the camera's having a hard time picking that up, but there's the little nostrils in there. All right, next is going to be the ears, and then we'll do the eyeballs. I'm going to do it a little different this time. Give it one there. One there. Back to the side. Now we got the little ears going on. You can see right there, we're starting to get that pig shape going in the head. Then we got to do eyeballs. There it is. So I'm going to show you something interesting here with that. So there are the eyeballs without the impression, okay? Kind of has that Miss Piggy look, right? Like Muppets. Now, we're going to take a little brass tool here. This little guy. We're going to push in for the eyeballs, and we're going to give it a little impression. There's one. There we go. And I'm going to show you the difference on that. So now we got the little eyeballs pushed in there. Can you see the little eyeballs, how they shaped up a little different? So we got the little pig nose going. There. All right, now we do the rest. All right, what the hell is my chair catching on? All right, this is the easy part. Feet. Here we go. We're coming over here. I don't know why, but every time I start doing the feet, I laugh like they're funny as heck. So now we got the little piggy feet going. We got to do the back end. Little short and stout, right? Little short and stout. Pigs in space, right? Yeah, I agree. All right, let me get the feet going on the back end. Actually, I'm going to turn this down. Need a little bit more flame control for this end. And a little bit more over here. Tiny bit over here. Hold on. So before we get too far, there we are with the pig so far. We got both feet on, front and back. Yeah, Dragonfly and Grove's Glass Gallery are both lamp workers as well. So you should give them a follow on here. They're both amazing and they're progressing really awesome. So definitely want to give them a follow. All right, so now we're going to get into the wings. So these wings are a little different. And what makes them different is the fact that the wings are the hook. Okay, they are the place where this pig will hang from. So we're going to start out here. Man, this rod's way too long. I'm not happy about that. Might be a little more difficult than I want. Okay, there is wing number one. Not super thrilled with how I had to angle it. But there is wing number one on the pig. Okay, we got to do the second wing over here, but then we're going to combine them together and make it, join them together. And that will make the hook. Make sure I balance this out correctly. Here we are. All right, we're getting it. Let's get it. All right, we're good. So back to side view so you can see it. What's up, Diamondback? So now we got the two wings floating in there, little piggy with wings. So the next trick is we have to swoop them together. So we're just going to kind of let it heat up, and I do a natural bend. We'll give it a little nudge here and there, but for the most part, like that. We'll come to the other side. There we go. Okay, and then one little manipulation here. Just need to balance the wings out. There we go. So back to side view. So now you can see the wings have come together, and that's where they hang from. So the whole pig will hang from those wings back there. And there's no separate hook needed. Okay, last step is to add in the tail. Oh, I got to blend that wing in. Hold on. There's a little rough spot looking right there. I don't like it. Okay. There was a spot I was not comfortable with. All right, so we're going to take and we're going to put a little punchy rod right in the bottom of the nose here. Uh-oh. That's not good. Hold on a second. I got to manipulate this. Little tiny spot in here that's not cooperating. I'm going to have to redo the ear a little bit. Yep. Well, then I got to redo this ear. Not happy. Probably going to have to do the other side too. No, we're okay. I'm going to add a little bit more jowl to it. Man, I haven't done this like this in a while. Sorry, I just had to manipulate that. I was not happy with the way it was looking. Actually, I'm not even going to attach that on there. I don't want to mess it up. I like the way the face looks right now. I really don't want to mess with it. We'll just do it the hard way. Over exaggerate the tail. Let me turn it to the side view. And then you can see the little piggy. Got a little curly Q tail, little piggy in there. Make sure there's no flaws. No, we're all good. So yeah, it just hangs that way. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that piece. It's actually sitting in the kiln right now. We can actually do something with it right now. I like the idea of the arrowhead. Maybe we'll turn it to that. We can work on that right now. I kind of like the arrowhead idea. I'll move this pig out of the way. So this is the uranium piece they were referring to. It's not going to show up really bright right now because the uranium's hot. And when it's hot, it really doesn't show up like the normal uranium glass like that. So we're going to twist it up and we're going to give it some character here then. Let me put this tool away before I bury it the wrong direction. There we go. So we got just a little stripes going all the way around. So we're going to heat this up. Miss Piggy, I know, right? So we're going to take this here and we're going to twist it all up. So we're going to spin all those colors together. And here we go. Basically just creating these little micro spirals in here. There we go. So after we do that, we're going to open up the end. So I want this very front opened up. It's where there's an air hole running through it. So we can flatten it properly. Without that, it would leave big bubbles. There we go. So basically, we just had to open it up a little bit. If I left that closed and I went to flatten, it would trap air all the way throughout it. We don't want that. So we're going to heat it up. This way, when I smash it, the air can be pushed out both ends and it doesn't trap any bubbles really. Like that. We'll bring it over to the side so you can see what I'm talking about. So there it is. It's really rough looking, but notice in the front, there's no bubble. It's just all flat. We'll smooth all that out as we start going. Okay, so next step is we're going to start shaping it out. So we got this, and we're just going to take it and shape it. Like that. So there, we got the beginnings, the start of the arrowhead going on. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. Now, because this does have tubing and it is hollow right there, we have to remove that little section. So we got to come through, and this part is a lot of fun. We're going to heat up just this little section here. We are going to use a lot of pressure on this at a nice even pace, and we're going to remove this tubing very carefully. Like that. That was kind of cool, right? And now we're left with a big mouth bass right there. And then we have to cut it. So we got to come through and cut it. There we go. Who says that home ec class didn't pay off? All right, here we go. Let's make this thing out now. Okay, So there we are. We got no more air trapped in there. We got the shape started for the arrowhead. I'm going to park this in the kiln for a second because I got to make the back part of the arrowhead. Okay, we got to do the back end of it right now. I use a little bit of uranium and clear. I don't have any uranium down here. I've got it over white. See, that's the uranium over the white, which we're going to do that in a little bit. All right, there we go. So might as well show you guys that difference. Remember we did the uranium on the white? So this is what the difference is. You can see the uranium, there's the white version, and then there's the clear. See how much the white is like popping out? And it just looks way more intense. I'll do this from the side view later. We'll do it from the side later. Oh, that's my silver rod. All right, let's grab some clear. Man, that hot. That was hot. That was a little bit that flew on me. That was hot. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit, we're going to manipulate this into a little bit of a spiral to match the back end of that arrowhead. We're just going to put a couple stripes of the uranium down. Grab this, twist it up. There we are. Come down, remove this little excess, then we're going to flatten this out. I don't need much of it. There we go. So we're going to flatten. Just a little bit like that. Okay, not much to it. I feel like I'm running out of, I keep losing all my punty rods. I don't know where the heck they keep going. There's one. Okay, we got to burn this off. Actually, I'm going to burn it, then cut it. We're going to cut this one too. There we are. Flatten it out. Okay, and two little spots to maneuver it, and then we should be able to attach it to the arrowhead and finish that guy up. Should not be difficult from here on out. Put these scissors away. I know I won't need those again for a little bit. All right, here we go. There's that. We'll bring it through. All right, so we are good on there. So what I did is I created the back part of the arrowhead. We're going to separate that from the tip, which will go right up to the arrowhead itself. So this is the back part of it. Okay, almost looks like a Tesla logo. I hope Elon doesn't sue me. Okay, so there is the arrowhead that we're starting off with. Again, this is in uranium, so it is going to ignite really awesome. But in order to get it to look like an arrowhead, we have to carve into it. Yes, I definitely sell the stuff I make. Sell it to you cheap. I'm kidding. I don't do anything cheap like that. All right, here we go. So this is one of those things that I always tell people you want to take your time with and just kind of create these little fun details in here. And I don't want it too even. I want to kind of change it up a little. So see how we got a little of the ridges right there versus the smooth? See what a difference that makes? Now, true napping, I could get a little bit more detail in here, but I don't want to do that right now. There is a way to make it look a little more like it's napped with a rock and, texture, but I just don't want to deal with that right now. It's just kind of like a little fun arrowhead. There. So now we have the edges kind of textured like that. And I don't want them perfect. I really want them off. Okay, we're going to grab the little Tesla logo and pop it on the back. We're going to pull it down in the front very carefully. that. Then we're going to come over to the side view. And there we have the arrowhead. Now, a little bit of bubbling in there from the texturing, but yeah, that's going to have all uranium in it, and it is going to glow super intense. But we can change it a little bit. I have an idea for it. We're going to give it a little character. Y'all ready for this? We're going to give it a tiny bit of character. Might as well. So we're going to take a little gold and pop it on the edges. Where is my gold? Did you pop off? Nope, there you are. So what's happening right now is I'm doing a process called fuming, gold fuming on here. I got to push this gold out though. It's not. There we go. Yeah, that looks kind of cool, I have to admit. One second and I'll show you what it looks like in its full glory. But we are going to borax it a little. So right now I'm taking actual borax laundry soap and fusing it into the glass. And there we go. And I'll show you from the side. So now we just added a little bit of that reddish orange tint on there. Not bad for scrap glass. There. You can see a little bit of the uranium. There's the orangey color. So we don't want it to be super perfect. I mean, I don't know of any arrowheads that are like super, super perfect. And that's why I kind of change it up a little like that. You don't want it like looking like it came out of a press. Let me fuse it like that. Try and give it that natural arrowhead look. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it. It's damn skippy. What's up, Jen? All right, let's separate the hummingbird we did earlier. So this is the piece we did first right off the bat. This beautiful little pink, teal, and purpley piece right there. Let's separate that. Good, right there. I wish it would have broke a little bit higher. Because right now it looks like a... You guys know what that looks like. I don't want to leave that. It's very obnoxious. Can't leave that on there. You guys know exactly what that looks like. There we go. Much better. So now we got that nice little tail to it. Not so thin though. There we go. There, we got a beautiful little hanging flower. Oh yeah, we definitely have some older uranium. I haven't done anything with it yet. I got to figure out what the heck to make with it. Definitely going to have to figure that out. Little sizzle right there. Okay, it is 8:30. I am going to shut it for the moment. I'm probably going to come back out in a little while and finish up some work. But right now it's been 2.5 hours, and that's kind of my cutoff. I need to get up and stretch around and just kind of get my body so you're not sitting in this chair for 3.5 hours straight. But if I come back on, I'm going to be in the horizontal view. So the horizontal view has both cameras. It has this view and this one at the same time. So they are both active on that. And that's why I want to go to the horizontal, because they're both on at the same time. Thank you, Chef Dave. So yeah, I will probably be back tonight. I've got a few more pieces I need to finish up, but I definitely have to get up and stretch, or yeah, it causes problems. So I will see you all in a little bit. If I don't,